Amit, is there a chance that Unfreedom will screen to audiences in your home country of India anytime soon?
Doesn't look like, but we are fighting for it. So I've filed a high court case, against what censor board has done, and so we are hoping that some outcome will come out of it. I've started a petition campaign. I'm asking people to, come together in India and fight against the censorship.
Right. Well, I have to ask, since you said previously that you spent half a decade working on the film, and it's a beautiful film, and there's so many scenes that are important, and I've seen the scenes that are the ones that it seems like the censor board does not like. But knowing that, prior to finishing the film, did you ever think twice about maybe modifying those scenes or omitting them altogether? Or you felt that you needed them in there?
No, I don't censor myself.
You don't? Okay.
The role of censorship is to self-censor, make filmmakers self-censor. But I didn't come to cinema to do that. I came with a certain expression, and I made a film with that. I never even thought that I should be doing it some other way.
Right. So there was no doubt in your mind, knowing the censors and maybe prior films that have been held up for similar reasons, because I believe it's only the sex scenes that are the issue, right? Not the violence or some of the religious references.
No. It's not just the sex scenes.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
That was very clear to me that when it comes to nudity of a certain kind, I mean, the Indian censor board would have a problem, and there's a way to address that. Though I was never going to accept the cuts anyways. But the problem here is not that. The problem is when you take sex and violence and you mix it with religion and politics, and you mix with the truth of the society, that's what is becoming the problem for them. That's what they cannot digest. So it's not just it's just not nudity on screen that's bothering them. It's the ideas. It's the expression that the film has. It's what it stands for. Is what's problematic for them.
And the homosexuality in the film.
Yeah, I mean,
also...
as we understand that homosexuality is illegal in India. Recently, Supreme Court passed a decision that homosexuals will stay criminals in India. And it's sad, and it needs to be fought against. Yeah.
Speaking of criminals, you say that you feel as a filmmaker you're almost being penalized in a sense and going before a jury, and you feel as if you are a culprit in wanting to show a certain story, and that you have to sort of defend against that.
Well, I think all Indian filmmakers are. I mean, in the way censorship is set. I mean, we make a film. The moment we make a film, we have to first go in front of this jury that's going to tell us what should stay in the film or not. I mean, it's absurdity of highest kind. Are we the filmmakers or they are the filmmakers, So it's just not me who feel like a criminal filmmaker. I mean, I think every Indian filmmaker should. I don't know if they don't, but in my opinion, this is just completely wrong. I mean, we are here to make our art. We are here to express ourselves through our cinema. I mean, who are these moral guardians who are going to tell us, what we should make and what India should see? It's not right.
Have you researched other filmmakers that have gone before the board and had their films denied or held up? And what have you seen? What parallels have you seen?
Well, when it comes to India, this is usually the case that filmmakers will make their film, they go to censor board. There are certain filmmakers who have been a little aggressive in their work, who, kind of want to push the envelope. A censor board will come up with, you cut this, you cut that, and hence, once you do that, you will get an A certificate or whatnot. And filmmakers usually give in to that. I mean, they just usually accept those cuts and move on, because there is so much at stake. I mean, there's money of investors at stake, studios' money at stake. I mean, one film is made with the cooperation of so many people. Everybody wants that film to go out, and genuinely so. So I understand where those filmmakers come from, but that's not me. I mean, I was not going to accept that.
And leading to that, you've started a change.org petition, is that right? Is that still current?
Yes. So unfreedommovie.com, which is the website, you can go on the homepage and click, and you'll go to change.org. .org, where the petition is, and we want everybody to sign that petition, and not just Indians. I think censorship is not an issue that India is facing, and the kind of world we live in, it's a global issue. You violate human rights at one place, and you will see the repercussions of it in other countries, and we see that. So my appeal is to everybody in the world who completely believes in absolute freedom of expression should go and sign this petition.
Switching gears a little bit, what have you learned about distribution from releasing Unfreedom?
Yeah, wow, that's filmmaking was a journey. It's something that I studied, I learned, I wanted to do it. Distribution kind of came my way because there was no other option, right? In the independent filmmaking world, we are left with so many limited options, and so in that I also saw an opportunity. If you look at Indian independent cinema, there is amazing art house cinema that comes out of India, and there is not really any company that is focusing on bringing this cinema to North America or internationally. So I met a wonderful veteran distributor, Mark Erman, and he was CEO of Think Film, and we sort of joined forces together, and we say we're going to bring Indian independent cinema to North America. So that's I mean, I'm not an expert distributor, but I sort of took the initiative to start this company, and then Mark is sort of leading this.
The script to Unfreedom was based on a poem, is that right? That initially sparked you to do a story?
Right. I mean, Ahmed Faiz is a great inspiration for any artist, I would say. And the poem was written at the eve of Indian independence, when India was sort of, on one hand, we were getting free, quote unquote, and on the other hand, Hindus and Muslims were killing each other. So he wrote that poem at the eve of independence. And as religious fundamentalism is sort of one of the very key theme to Unfreedom, that's where sort of the idea kind of sparked.
Mm-hmm. What was the process like the first week you began the story for? I know there's other contributors to the script, but you were the initial writer of it. So what was that first week like? You have this poem in mind?
Not really. No. Poem was not a story inspiration. Poem was a thematic, conceptual inspiration. I wanted to make a film on identity and violence. I wanted to, tell. So the idea was to take two different identities in two different geographies. So on one hand, I took Muslim identity in New York. On the other hand, homosexual identity in New Delhi. If I would have picked one identity and told the story, it would have become a film about, let's say, Muslim issues or homosexual issues. I wanted to tell a story which is not just about one of these identities, but sort of a broader philosophical concept. So the relationship of religious intolerance, violence, sexuality, and that's what I was trying to address. Yeah.
There was one character, and forgive me, I've forgotten his name, but he was this sort of Americanized transplant. Did you feel any kinship to that character? He was the one with the pool business, and he had the barbecue, and he had assimilated into American life. Was that part of you in that, or am I projecting that?
That's the character I feel least kinship with.
Okay.
That's the way I set archetype characters on both sides of the story. There are parallels with each other, right? And the idea was also to establish all different kinds of Muslims on one side and all different kinds of LGBT community characters on other side. And Ali Khan, the character that you mentioning, he's a very apolitical Muslim character. All he cares about his business, right? And having a happy life in North America. I don't think I belong there, but in a way, all the characters that you see in the film, there is some part of me in some ways. At least the 6 main lead characters that are in the film. Yeah.
Even Suki, to some sense.
Yeah, of course.
The artist.
Yeah. So Saki is a parallel character to Farid.
Right.
They both are artists. They both, through their art, want to change the world. They don't believe in a violent way of changing the world. So they are parallel on both sides. And yes, of course, this is the question we artists face, right? How do you change the world? How do you do something that can have any effect in terms of any change in the world? So, of course, I have bits and pieces there.